Welcome back, Kings. We jump straight back into the fight between Aki and the Ghost Devil, with Aki losing consciousness. He has a flashback of Himino telling him to smoke, and after reluctantly agreeing, he calls Himino a terrible teacher for making a miner smoke. After learning Aki is a miner, she immediately demands for the cigarette back, but tells him that one day she will return the cigarette back to him when he's allowed to smoke it. Suddenly, we return to the fight, and Aki, who was just being choked to death, is released from the Ghost Devil's grasp. It stretches out its hand with a clenched fist, and upon opening it, Aki sees the cigarette Himino promised him, with 2 words written down the side of it. Easy revenge. It's now Aki remembers that the Ghost Devil is blind, and as long as you have no fear for it to smell, it can't sense your presence. Remembering this, he steps over the Ghost Devil, readies his blade, and decapitates it. Sawatari tries to call for the Snake Devil, but Aki randomly says not to kill her, as we see that Kabini has snuck up on Sawatari with a blade to her throat. Aki approaches, and asks Kabini why she decided to stay in the public safety. She simply responds, because we get our bonuses soon. Power and Denji are climbing floors in the elevator, where Power has kept a zombie arm and suddenly gets a bit peckish. While Denji is disgusted, Power says meat is meat, be it animal or human. When the elevator arrives at its floor, the doors open and introduces the 2 passengers to a horde of zombies. Fortunately, the zombies haven't noticed the elevator yet, and Denji says to remain quiet while they pass. "It's me, Power!" Power ignorantly shouts. She's decided she's not going to run from any battles, and begins going ham on the zombies. She calls out to Denji, telling him to watch her strength in action, but Denji allows her to get on with it as he continues with his elevator ride. Power spots a big one. She leaps into the air and makes quick work of it, completely blinded to the fact that Denji has already left. Bored and yawning, Denji has nearly made it to the desired floor. He readies his chainsaw, to be greeted by 3 men. 2 with guns, and 1 with hidden katanas. Surprisingly, Katana Man says to calm down, as he wants a chat first, saying they might even surrender depending on Denji's answers. He wants to know if Denji doesn't feel any remorse about killing his grandfather and his friends. Denji says obviously not, they turned into zombies anyway, which Katana Man calls him a dirty liar for. Either way, zombies were once human too, so he asks Denji if he feels no guilt for killing them, and Denji bluntly replies not at all. Katana Man says that his heart was replaced with the Katana Devil, but even he would feel terrible if he accidentally killed a zombie. He claims Denji has lost his human heart too, and if he has any human conscience left, he should let himself be killed. Hell no, Denji replies. Fine then, Katana Man says, I'll have to kill you. Come and get me then, Baka, Denji replies, and a fight breaks out. Immediately crashing out of the top of the building, Katana Man is relatively shocked Denji has guarded him, before kicking him into a building and following up with a slam which Denji dodges. Katana Man continues swinging at Denji, with each hit knocking him back slightly, before a big hit sends Denji flying, tripping him on the ledge of the building. Katana Man uses this to sweet chin music Denji through a sign, over a building, and on top of a train. Katana Man meets him there, praising his improvement in the speed of his moves, and asks what he's fighting for. Denji says to protect his current life, and to get acknowledgement from Makima by defeating Katana Man. This makes the latter laugh, as he knows Denji can't defeat him, provoking a charge from Denji. The 2 continue their battle, and while it mostly seems even, just like before, every hit sends Denji back slightly. Katana Man swats Chainsaw Devil away, before he loses sight of his opponent. Suddenly, from behind, Katana Man slams down on him and sends him through the train roof. The train makes an emergency brake, putting Denji off balance and getting him hit into the roof and into the next carriage. Chainsaw Devil lays next to a civilian, as Katana Man takes his special stance. Blasting past them both, Denji's arm comes flying off as the civilian flees. He takes his stance again, and Denji says, "Can't you try something new?" as he blasts past and takes his other arm off too. "It's over," Katana Man says. With no arms, Chainsaw Devil can't fight, and before killing him, Katana asks for an apology for killing his grandpa. Who said it's over? Denji says, you can't see the chainsaw on my head? Before charging in again. Katana scolds his ignorance, as he blasts past him a third time, finally breaking the chainsaw on his head. He again demands for an apology from Denji, but Denji simply responds, thanks for aiming for my head, Baka, before Katana Man is suddenly split down the middle. Denji remembers his training from Kishibe, and tells Katana Man the prey should never trust something their hunter tells them, before revealing that Denji is capable of growing chainsaws from his leg too, which allowed him to acquire victory. Katana Man falls to the floor in 2 pieces. Regaining consciousness, he's naked and tied to a train, while Denji walks over and says they truly are the same. Their body goes back to normal after reverting back to human form. Katana Man shouts he'll kill Denji, and Denji says losers are always the loudest. Denji says there's one thing bothering him. Katana killed Himino-senpai, so now there's one less pretty girl in the world, but Katana will get to live his life in prison. Denji reaches his conclusion. He'll hold a tournament. Aki arrives, wondering about this tournament. Denji explains that the tournament will involve kicking Katana Man in the balls as hard as they can, and whoever gets him to scream the loudest wins. Aki squats in disbelief at Denji's unprofessionalism. They're supposed to capture the man, not torture him for their own amusement. Such a thing wouldn't make Himino happy. Saying that, Aki pulls out the cigarette she gave him, and asks Denji what the prize would be for winning the tournament. Denji says, his balls of course, and the two approach him, ready to play some football. We're shown a short montage of the crooks from the building being taken away in cuffs. Power seems to have survived her battle with the zombies, as well as Angel Devil too. While he may have survived too, I think Katana Man would rather he had been killed, as opposed to this alternative where Denji and Aki really go to town on his manhood. Makima is summarizing the events to her higher-up. Sawatari, the hoodie girl, made a contract with the gun devil and supplied guns to the Yakuza, who in exchange wanted Denji's heart. The man asks why Sawatari wanted Chainsaw Devil's heart, and Makima explains that before they could get that information out of her, her own snake devil forcefully prevented her from being captured, unaware of whether that was her choice or not. However, they seized 1.4 kilos of gun devil flesh, and with the 5 kilos they already have, the pile of flesh has finally started returning to the gun devil itself. Just before we conclude, Denji is having the same dream he always has but never remembers. He hears Pachita's voice coming from a door, and tells him to come out. But Pachita replies, no matter what you do, Denji, never open this door. Ever. That wraps up Season 1. What an awesome show. If you enjoyed it as much as I did, be sure to subscribe. It may take a while, but I can't wait for the second season. I'll see all you kings in the next one.